We live. We live. Mm-hmm. All black everything. Welcome back. Tavistock Institute. We stepping right in the masses. Check it out. Yeah. Get yourself one. Do your own research. We just sharing information, dropping them in spurts. You know how we do it. Going right back where we left off. Listen, I do not own the rights to this music. That's the King's Tribe Called Quest. Shout out to him. Got him on call, y'all. Take this plight. Them jerseys, go and get you one. Yeah, check it out. Here we go. Only a conspiracy of psychiatrists, as Reese meant when he spoke of his mission, could build a society where it is possible for people of every social group to have treatment when they need it, even when they do not wish it, without without the necessity of to invoke the law. For Reese, the construction of that cabal became a lifelong mission, as L.S. Marcus writes in his excellent investigative piece. Quote, Reesian methods rely completely and consciously on the destruction of the mental life of world society and a forced march into universal sadism, end quote. Within this lies their affinity, men as beasts, whose minds, according to Tavistock, are something to be manipulated and destroyed. Since then, different methodologies, and psychological warfare developed at Tavistock Institute have been the center features of the activities of a worldwide set of interlocking think tanks in consultative capacity and special commissions, government agencies, and corporations. Their developmental studies, and pilot projects with the clear cut objective of shaping political techniques of social control. Reese and Tavistock organized their cabal according to the public dictum. We are not large, but well placed structures, organized individuals who will in turn spread ideas and influence. When we speak of psychological warfare, we are often speaking of ways to make the enemy afraid, fear. And in order to do this, we must understand an enemy's psyche. We must make them love, hate, fight, run. Love, hate, fight, run. That enemy might be foreign or domestic, an army of men or an outraged mass of workers. And in order to find an effective antidote, Tavistock and company need to understand how this enemy will react under stress. Will he fight harder or simply surrender? Or will he start making errors in judgment, winning the war for an enemy in manner of speaking? The costliest mistake of psychological warfare operations are always by, psychology, a kind of black art. And since this is a war of perceptions of world sociologists and the anthropologists for Tavistock, understand modes of expression and how world views our rotation will arise to test some of these principles on the domestic population. After all, with whose mindset are we most familiar but our own? What better place to test the new theories of psychological warfare than among our own native population? As Reese said in 1945, quote, wars are not won by killing one's opponent, but by undermining or destroying his morale whilst maintaining one's own. So I want to just attack your morality, if you have some. One of the key individuals involved in the behavioral modification was psychologist Kurt Lewin. Lewin was the father of group dynamics and one of Reese's first cadre of recruits who began the career at Cornell University, where he worked on a systematic series of studies of the effect of social pressure on the eating habits of children. Going after the babies, there they go, man. He came to the United States in 1933, a refugee from Nazi Germany. Lewin, like many other German intellectuals, was forced out of Germany, quote, not because of any basic political differences, but as a sacrifice to Hitler's divide and conquer and Semitism. Lewin, in fact, is noted for his refinement of the Nazi formulated leaderless group technique and a sophisticated tool of counterinsurgency. One of the lesser known facets of Lewin's work is related to ensuring proper relations between psychological warfare, target setting, field operations, and evaluative renaissance. His first overt assignment was to utilize group decision making in changing food preferences away from meat toward whole wheat bread and substitutes. They got all kind of influence. I think we're gonna leave it right there, and we're gonna come back to it. We've been through this Tavistock Institute, taking it one step at a time. Check it out, Tavistock Institute coming right back. Get you one thumbs up, like you're hitchhiking. Subscribe it, like it. Peace and love.